Awesome. Hi. Welcome back to my channel, Tales from the Fifth House. Today I have the lovely Elle. Beautiful. Elle and I, we've met, so she's not a complete stranger.
Yeah.
We've hung out a few times, but today's my first time reading your cards.
All right.
So I'm very excited. I'm going to give you my little spiel. I know
Cool.
you're quite familiar with tarot, but every reader's a little different. So I'll tell you how I like to read. I like to just channel the messages that you need to hear right now. So before we get into questions, I just kind of like to tell you what the cards are telling me.
Oh, I like that.
Then we debrief. You can ask clarifying questions, follow-up questions. I also like oracle decks as well, and I like to even work with some dice, kind of incorporate that in there.
Do you have enough time to really quick explain what an oracle deck is?
Yeah, so oracles, so tarot cards are a little bit more specific, where each
Okay.
card has like a definitive meaning and like things like that. Oracle cards are more like general thematic based messages, so more like broad. Yeah. So I like to get like advice from oracles, but more like specific messages from tarot cards.
I like that.
Okay. So we're gonna get started. You're gonna choose one of the 4 tarot decks and then one of the oracle decks, whichever one's calling you. You can think of the deck, the crystal, whichever one, and then we'll dive in to see what message that you need to hear today.
This one.
This one?
Yeah.
Popular pick.
And then the first one in line.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. While I'm shuffling, if there is something on your mind that you would want like specific guidance or clarity on, you can set that intention, silently right now, and then we'll see what comes out, okay? So let's see what messages. How have you been feeling lately? It is the last full moon of the year.
It's been an intense couple weeks. Intense, yeah. Preparing for the new year, but happy. Happy but intense.
Good.
Yeah.
That's not a bad place to be.
Yeah.
So let's see what comes out. And look at that. Look at that. So you said happy, intense but happy. And I think the sun is like considered the happiest card in the deck.
The way it popped out.
And you saw it like landed right in my lap. I think that's beautiful. And I think that's very representative of the energy that you just said you're in. Like, think about it. The sun, it can be bright, blinding. It's very bright and it could be intense. But like you said, it's also warming. Like, it provides that same energy.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, I think. Let's keep going. This is also Leo energy, you know. Your sign.
I don't have anything Leo as far as I know. I'm a stellium in Pisces.
Pisces stellium. That's a lot. So this wanted to show itself. I'm not going to take it because it didn't fall out. We have the 6 of Cups.
Okay.
That could be like very nostalgic energy is what I get from
that checks out.
The 6 of Cups. That could be you feeling nostalgic. People maybe coming back. It's Mercury retrograde too. So lots of old people coming back. Hey, what's up with you? Miss you maybe.
Yep. Had a couple of those this week.
It's the season. Okay, let's get them to come out though. More messages for Elle. That's a great way to start this reading.
What crystal was on top of that deck?
I think this is like a clear quartz.
It looks like it. It's really pretty.
You want to hold on to it?
Yeah, can I? Thank you.
Then we have the Page of Cups coming out. And I'm going to take one more to get like a full message. But it's funny you said people are coming back. I get like someone wanting to offer you a cup, like a small gesture. It's a young energy though. It's a little childish. Let's see.
Yeah, that everything you're saying checks out with some experiences I've had in the last couple of days.
And then we have the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Cups. I like to look at the bottom of the deck energy just for like kind of general. So I'll start with the bottom of the deck. 5 of Cups usually represent like regretful energy. It's like someone who's like crying over spilled milk. I don't get that this is your energy, but this could be like people around you or connections is what I'm getting. I don't know, like you said, people have been coming back, maybe trying to be remorseful, expressing like, oh, you know, I'm sorry for how that turned out, or for how I acted. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this card, that maybe people are seeing you in this really positive, happy energy and they're feeling it and they're trying to like come back around to like be a part of it, be on the ends of your good vibes. And it seems like you are not necessarily closed off from that, but like with the 7 of Pentacles, I get that you're kind of like waiting. I don't know if you're waiting for something. I get like waiting. This is like a patience card. It's like, okay, you've kind of done the work. This person's been working in this garden and they're waiting for their seeds to grow, to manifest.
Yeah, that sounds so spot on.
That's what I'm getting so far.
So spot on. Like someone who came back into my life was definitely who I no longer feel emotionally drawn to in a good way. This is so spot on. And also this card, like, I've been doing a lot of reflection on what I did in the past year that I wasn't proud of for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And like how can we move
yeah,
past that
yeah.
energy?
Like, not self-pity, it's not the right word, but just like, all right, this is what we're gonna try to level up on.
Right, you learned the lesson, so how can you move forward? And it's funny because then you have 2 cups here. So you have the 5 of cups, and then you also have the page of cups. Page, it's not a knight, it's not a king, so it's not at that like mastery level yet. But I feel like it's like that awareness. Like, it first has to start with you being aware of kind of your faults, your strengths, your weaknesses, etc. And then like, all right, well, how do I move forward with that information?
Kind of like a child, like the Aries energy almost, like a child,
exactly. That's that first zodiac, right? That like, oh, it's all about me, or just like not even, but like it's the first. It's kind of youthful. This would be like you kind of exploring emotions or learning how to balance emotions and be like stable despite what could be going on around you. I'm gonna get one more to see what's this, but this is all positive. I just feel like you're waiting for something to materialize. And I want to get more information on what's the 7 of Pentacles. Because when you said, like, you gave context on these 2, and that makes sense. So I'm going to pull a clarifier for this. What's the 7 of Pentacles? Oh. And then we have the 3 of Pentacles. So more Pentacle energy. This is like collaboration. This is working with others, apprenticeships. I don't know if you're wanting to start new projects.
Yeah,
do new things. And you're like waiting for like, all right, where's the opportunity with that? I feel like it's coming, and it might start off small with this page of Pentacles, but it could bring you a lot of like emotional fulfillment and contentment. If there's like a craft you're working on, continue to do so is what I'm getting with the 7 of Pentacles. Maybe include other people, people who are already in that field, who already, work with others. Or if you are like a master at your craft, wherever level you are, maybe it's time for you to collaborate and teach others. Because this could be learning, but also teaching in that way. Just working with a larger collective.
What does Pentacles in general usually mean?
So Pentacles is like earth energy.
Okay.
It's tangible, material things. So it's like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Those are the earth signs that are represented. But it's really like earth energy, things more tied into the material realm. So like finances, career, typically is what
I've been
people
focusing
think of.
a lot on that.
And this could, and that's why I think you have the 7 here, because the 7 is kind of like the patience card. It's like, well, you're doing the work consistently. You've been, and like you can kind of see the fruits of your labor, but they haven't 100% materialized yet.
So you're gonna, this can blow your mind when I tell you, I just quit my full-time job a month ago and went full-time freelance.
Congratulations.
Just seeing things start to work, but it's been really hard. So this absolutely
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I like doing this in reverse where you tell me first and then I'm like, girl, you're right.
This makes sense. Okay. But I see, like, again, that was the right choice for you, and it's ultimately going to bring you to that, like, sun, ultimate happiness. Oh, look. And we have the moon. So the moon could be like, now on the bottom we have the Empress, which I love. Empress, I'll start with Empress. Empress is like divine feminine. This is like creation at its finest. This is receptive energy, you being open, like attracting opportunities to you rather than like going out and feeling the need to make things happen. The Empress just sits back and she creates from a more like mental space, because her domain is the spiritual realm, not the material realm.
Of course.
And it's like once we get clear, and we have both energies.
She draws things to her.
Exactly. And I feel like that's what this is saying. Like, you're going to attract a lot of the right opportunities for you. It might be unclear. You might be unsure of how you're going to do that, because with the moon, it's funny. You said you're Pisces stellium. Moon represents Cancer. Pisces too. Yeah. So it's like, I feel like things may seem unclear, and you have this kind of like opposite here. You have the sun and the moon. So I feel like you're just like trying to balance things out. Things are like settling, and it could be unknown. Like, you're taking a big leap to go from stability, security in one sense to like, I don't know what things are gonna look like. But I feel like this is a reminder, like, you're creating exactly what it is that you want and what you need.
Trust the spirit.
Yeah, I think it depends a lot on your connections and how you work with other people too. With this 3 of Pentacles, like, be open to collaboration. I feel like that's going to be a huge key for you in terms of like being able to sustain yourself, like materially wise. That's way too many. But I feel like, don't be afraid of the unknown, because things are going to be illuminated for you already with the sun here. And whatever you need, you have you can create it yourself.
I need to hear that.
Yeah. But now, do you have any questions?
I do, but it's more astrology related. Are
Okay.
you?
I know a little bit about
Okay. So I'm a Pisces. I've been told a stellium is 3 to 4 plus, right? I think I have 5 in Pisces.
Ooh. What are the signs or placements? Sun?
Well, Sun and Mars and Venus.
Okay.
And I can't remember the last 2.
Okay.
I'd have to look at my chart. But I've also heard that like in between the ages of 28 and 30, there's some sort of like
your Saturn return? Or
Saturn return, that's what it is. So I'm about to turn 28 in like in this coming Pisces.
Yeah, and it's in Pisces, so your Saturn is probably
for a Saturn return with a Pisces stellium, off the top of your head, do you have any like recommendations for focus?
So I feel like Saturn returns are all about, like, they can feel scary, especially like the way it's kind of portrayed.
Yeah.
But it's really about, Saturn is all about foundation. Saturn is like father time. It's about rewards and lessons as well. That's what I think when I think of themes that are related to Saturn. Those are the things that come to mind.
Those themes have been building in my life in the last year,
and
which is why I asked.
Yes,
yeah,
because now you're at a point in your life, like just astrologically, just if you think about it, like you're really about to move into the next stage of adulthood. So like now the question is, how's your foundation? What have you been building your foundation on? Anything that's like not aligned to like really where you're trying to be or built on faulty foundation, the way I see it, it's not going to last. Exactly. And that's a scary feeling in the moment, but if you think about it, that's exactly what you want to happen, because now at this new stage in your life, you're just building a more sturdy foundation, more aligned to who you actually are, because you've been on this earth for almost 30 years. You know yourself, you've learned lessons, and now you can start moving in a way, like you said, you're being reflective, and now you're like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make better choices. So that's what Saturn return is all about.
Right.
In my opinion, having yours in Pisces themes would be like, Pisces does a lot of illusions, like dreams. Pisces rules like, what else? Heat. Random. That came to mind. Pisces rules heat. It also rules like drugs or just like fantasies. Like Pisces are very whimsical, mystical.
Well, I'm a visual artist, so.
Exactly. So you know the creativity, right? And Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac, so it's a combination of all the signs before it. So Pisces are huge, like shapeshifters. I feel like you guys can kind of be really whoever people need you to be in the moment, which
used to be a problem,
right? But it could be, because then it's like, who am I?
You lose yourself, yeah.
Exactly.
And finally gotten over that habit.
That's awesome. Yeah. So now you're building up that foundation closer to who you are, and you're gonna attract more things, I feel like, that are aligned to that person. If there was anything that really didn't suit you, it's gonna start falling away. And if you're not like holding on to it, not resistant to that, it'll be fine. I was resistant during my Saturn return, but it all leaves anyway. So
yeah, exactly. Like, whether or not.
I was like, well, this is happening, because Saturn will rip it out. But you'll be rewarded in the end, because if you're doing the work and you're learning the lessons and then implementing the lessons, you'll start to reach this happiness, this contentment, because you're going to be calling in things that actually serve you as opposed to things that don't. So that would be my advice. Just take it, be receptive, because you have a lot of like open receptive energy. Continue to be receptive. And that doesn't mean like accept any and everything. Right. Have discernment, especially with the moon here, because sometimes the moon can also be, again, a little scary. You don't know what's out there. So have that discernment, but also know like everything that needs to be illuminated eventually will be.
Don't get stuck on any one vision of the future.
Definitely not, because we're always co-creating. Like there are so many timelines, options, and you can limit yourself when you do that as well, which we never want to do that. Do you have any other questions?
Thank you. No. Oh my gosh, you just gave me so much wisdom.
I tried.
Is this your crystal ball?
Yeah. You can check it out.
Do you mind if I just like pick one that's
Feel free. So right now I'm going to move to oracles. These are more like advice. This particular deck is called The Universe Has Your Back. So this is, you're channeling directly from the universe what it wants to tell you.
Pretty sure it's my birthstone. Is this Alchemy?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
That's why I chose it.
So I'm going to get you some advice, and I'm going to roll some dice, and we can close it out. But you're in a good place, especially you're already making these changes prior to the Saturn return. You're in a really good place.
Well, thank you. Living alone's been really helping me. It's helped me focus in on
It's your first
myself.
Piece of evidence. Why did I say that? Interesting. It's your first.
Wow, this is reflective on what I just said 2 seconds ago. Moment I embrace my peace within, and surrender. The outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work.
And you see, it's not about you getting to work. The universe is going to do the work for you. We just have to get out the way sometimes.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Can you have this one? I'm going to get you one more.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Which is your personal favorite deck?
From these?
Yeah.
I really love this one because visually it's very pretty. It's like all women figures, which I love. I can pull you one from there too.
Yeah, if you don't mind, just one for fun.
I'm going to get you one more piece of advice. What did that card say?
I choose love no matter what.
Love that. And I feel like Pisces, you guys do that naturally. You guys are very forgiving, very much so like.
But I need to focus on the no matter what part because sometimes I put up a boundary too hard to protect myself after being a pushover. The way to do it gently.
Love this. You're getting great advice from the universe today. Very much so aligned to what we've been talking about.
Yeah. Oh wow. You might resonate with this. This reminds me of my first tattoo I ever got.
Oh.
It's binary code for be here now.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Binary code? That's so cool. I've never seen that on a tattoo.
I just didn't want to get text on my body.
Yeah, so I like that though. Numbers are powerful too.
They are. Yeah.
Very symbolic. So this says, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. And again, I feel like you're getting a lot of the same repeating messages. Love, being in the moment, and like trusting that good things are happening for you without you having to like necessarily make them happen actively, you know?
I've been really trying to get out of my head a little bit recently, so this is resonating with that.
That's not easy for anyone, but especially a Pisces.
It's some winter vibes too,
yeah.
You know?
And you guys are good at like, and I think that's part of Pisces' charm. You guys are very imaginative and can like kind of escape. Like it can be a blessing and a curse. Pisces, 100%. And I'm a Pisces rising, so I got a little bit of that. I can kind of daydream and get a little like lost
all day. I'll check back in 3 minutes after someone's been going on a monologue and just be like, oh my gosh, I'm so rude.
Like, sorry, I was in another world. I'm back. But that's a part of our charm. And I feel like Pisces placements are able to create beautiful things because of that ability that like not 100%. Everybody has. So it's a plus. I'm going to get you one more before I just roll some dice. Let's see. One more advice or messages. This flipped over, not out, so I'm not going to take it, but it's the seeker. Wisdom, experience, evolution. Sag energy. So expansive, growing. That's what I'm getting from that. Let's see what actually wants to come out. One more. I'll take this one. We have the mother. Cancer entity. Cancer. Intimacy, home, and sensitivity. And it's a Cancer full moon tonight.
Really?
Yeah, it's the last full moon of
Oh, wow.
the year.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because I haven't done a ritual in a while.
Yeah, it might be time to like, especially since you said you've already been like reflecting like the lessons you've been learning. Anything else? Well, let it go, write it down, burn it, you know, light your incense, your candles, say thank you for the lessons and let it all go. And at the bottom, you got more fire energy. So you had a few fire energy come up.
I've been building some fire in my belly. So
do you have fire in your chart?
Actually, I can show it to you because I actually don't really know 100% all my placements. I believe I have maybe one fire placement, but
gotcha.
I have like 5 water, 1 or 2 earth, and then mostly air. Water and air, mostly.
Oh, okay, so we got one. I like to roll dice just for like extra confirmation, symbolism, signs to look for. So it's more so for like your benefit. I could tell you what the things mean to me, but they might also mean more to you. Oh, look at the flame. Just talking about fire. That's crazy. All right, so we got an apple, a hand, a flame, and a fish. Very interesting.
What do those mean to you?
So when I see fish, I always think of abundance. I think of like the sea and schools of fish and just like how many fish are in the sea? Infinite numbers of fish. Like it's abundant. And I think of that could be like coming into you, especially like material abundance. Abundance is more than material, but when I see fish, especially, I think of material abundance. When I see an apple, I think of lessons, wisdom, learning, which we were just talking about, school, stuff like that. Flame, I think of fire energy. More so like passion is what I'm getting from this. Like, what are the things that light your fire, ignite your fire, the things you're passionate about? And when I see this hand, sometimes I feel like it stopped, But in this instance, I'm getting like talk to the hand, like anybody who's not on board with whatever you got going on, especially past people who are maybe coming back expecting old versions of you, and you're like, I'm not that person anymore.
The year 27 was me getting good at boundaries.
Yeah.
Fucking finally.
Right, like take a step back. Right. And and that's hard for a Pisces because
God,
you guys
yeah.
understand, you're so empathetic and you understand people so well that you can make excuses for people's bad behavior and be on the receiving end of that,
Yeah. I had not like a fight, but something I had to work through with one of my closest friends this year where she kept saying to me, Elle, you just agree with everything. You agree with me on everything. When I was like, well, no, I don't feel like I'm agreeing with everything. I feel like I can see everyone's side of,
right.
Like I can put myself in everyone's shoes like too well, to the point that then I don't have my own opinion.
Right. Yeah, and that's a tricky space to navigate sometimes because you do have to have your own stance.
Just don't lose your own backbone.
Yeah.
In the midst of having empathy for others.
Yeah. Then have it for
Harder.
yourself as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Self first sometimes. Yeah.
But next I'm gonna roll some zodiac dice.
Okay.
This could be confirmation if your sign comes up. This could also be like, sometimes I like to say it's like the energy you should tap into. Like it varies.
Okay.
But I like to see what signs come up. So you're on
Capricorn?
the board.
Is that Capricorn?
I think this might be Scorpio.
I thought this one.
Aries. So we got Pisces, Aries, and Scorpio. Very interesting energies.
Oh.
But I think it makes sense. We've been talking about Aries and being like that first zodiac.
Well, also the person I'm kind of falling in love with is an Aries.
Oh. Girl, I'm not a love reader, but okay. So that might be good for you. You have fire here a lot. I don't know, maybe he's, helping you tap into your passions.
Yeah, he is.
Really, Aries are good for that, I will say. And we have Scorpio, which makes sense. Transformative energy. That's like death, rebirth cycles.
I don't really know anything about Scorpio.
Scorpios are a very interesting sign. I think they're a bit misunderstood.
Yeah.
Especially as fixed water. You don't really think of water as like fixed anything.
Yeah.
I feel like water is always flowing and changing. But when I think of Scorpio, I think of just depth. They're very deep. Like there's always more going on beneath the surface with the Scorpio.
That's good to hear because I'm pretty uneducated on Scorpios in general. I don't have many in my life. But my first word that comes to my head is reactive.
Yeah, but I think
which I think is maybe too shallow.
Right, because to them it's probably like
way more underneath, right? Yeah. That's the Scorpio shit.
I feel like when Scorpio's reacting, they already had the list. Like it's taking them a while to get there, and I say that as a Taurus, which is the opposite of Scorpio, who it takes me a minute.
Absolutely sense that from you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I give Taurus energy.
You remind me of one of my dearest friends. That's a Taurus.
Oh, look at that!
That's the way you fill space.
I love astrology. Sometimes you're like, it's just a language.
The energy.
To understand people. But it's funny because we have the first sign and the last sign, Pisces. So I feel like you're coming into like a full kind of, and that's what our life is. You're literally going through the zodiac wheel, right? Like we have all the 12 signs. Each stage is a different lesson or skills you're learning and energies. There's a shadow and a light side to each sign. Like, and we have all of them. No one's just one sign, and we go through the wheel through life. And you're probably like at the end moving into a new stage, especially with the Saturn return. But I feel like as long as you are aware of, like you said, boundaries with this hand, my eyes keep getting drawn to this hand, especially with this whole like Cancer energy too, very deep, very warmth, nurturing energy. Take care of yourself, love on yourself, keep those boundaries. And I feel like you already know what to do because you've been reflecting on this. Like I don't feel like anything I'm telling you is new information.
No, it's not, but it's really confirming because like I said, I think I've set a lot of really intense goals as I've kind of like dispelled some self-delusion this past year. And it's good to keep the eye on the prize and remember like how to take it slow and what to prioritize.
Yeah. And patience is truly a virtue. When you have that here, like we can't expect things to, even if we're doing the work.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Take your time. And that's why I think enjoying the process and being present in the moment is what's so important because like you said, things don't happen overnight. It's a journey.
So. You know what my dad always used to say to me? He would say, Elizabeth, that's my full name. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
And it's
corny as hell, but
it's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, it really is that simple. Never that easy, but that simple. And I feel like you have all the tools, especially with the Empress here. Like, girl.
Hell
You just have
yeah.
to create. It's literally your mind. Like, this is definitely mind over matter. And like, if you get clear on the
Hell
vision in
yeah.
your mind, it's yours in due time. In due time, with help of others.
Yeah. Lean on
You
people.
got this.
Well, like
Yeah.
you did for the camera. This beautiful person helped me with an art project a couple months ago. It was the first time we met.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Like, just, and that's a community. Like, we were stepping in for Tila.
Yeah.
The community, like, collaborating,
Exactly.
like, coming together. I feel like sometimes, just in America, we can be a little individualistic.
Yeah.
And it's like we have to learn to lean on each other.
Community.
Very important.
Hey.
It is. It is. And I'm reminded of that often through this work.
I'm so grateful for this timing wise. Like,
Likewise.
right before the new year. If there's like one elevator pitch 10-second thing you could say to me to wrap this all up, what would you say?
What would I say?
Advice wise.
I would say clear vision. I feel like for you, it's always going to start in your head, especially as a Pisces.
Did you ever watch the show Friday Night Lights?
A little.
Remember
like
season one? Remember the one catchline?
Clear
eyes, full heart.
Yeah, there you go.
Lose.
Literally, there you go. There you go. That's it. That's my parting words for you. And that's so true as a Pisces. And it's okay if your vision shifts as well, is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
That's okay. It should shift the more you get to know yourself and what you want. But like, just keep your mind there. And if it's clear in your mind, it'll become clear in the 3D, in the tangible realm.
Awesome. Well, thank you again.
Oh, thank you for your time.
This is such a good way to like wrap up my next couple days.